XXX or XXX or xXx as I've been calling it. Return of Xander Cage, the third one in the series.
Yes, it is.
How long has it been? 12 years?
Yeah.
2005
It's been a long time.
It's been a while.
It's been a while, yes, it has. So, I mean, you haven't seen either of the first two, have either of you?
I've seen the first one.
Yeah, the first one,
Yeah,
it is what it is.
It's very
it is what it is. So now in the new one, it's many years later, and Xander Cage is not dead after all, because he was supposed to be dead in the last one. I haven't seen the last one, but he was thought to be dead and replaced with Ice Cube.
Yeah,
because that happens.
Yeah,
he's come back to life because there's a new threat from a new team of people who seem to have the same skills as Vin Diesel's XXX crew, and he has to get a band of heroes together, including Ruby Rose, and they have to stop these people from getting a satellite machine which can crash satellites into the world and basically cause major carnage.
Oh no!
And it's Vin Diesel and Friends Against the World. That's the real title of the world.
Sweet.
No, the real title is Vin Diesel's Midlife Crisis, the movie.
Yeah.
This is, he produced the film. This is his absolute fantasy. There's barely a scene where he's not trying to get off with some girl, trying to kill somebody, trying to look badass, but he says so many nerdy things. Everything he says is very nerdy. I think somebody else said the same thing, that he's just a big nerd, even though he thinks he's like this massive hunk and love machine. He's just...
Yeah.
It's Vin Diesel having a bit of a laugh, really, at our expense.
Fair enough. I don't know. I mean, it's what
you think it's stupid fun, don't you?
For what it was worth, I just went with it. And I know I hate the words about saying when you say turn your brain off, or it's mindless fun, but you're allowed that sometimes. Like you are allowed it when it tries to be that, or if it is trying successfully to do something like that, rather than sort of trying to be something else and failing. I think this film, from the very beginning, sets out its stall, taking potshots at Suicide Squad.
That's not it, right. First of all, it's not a potshot. It's doing the exact same thing Suicide Squad does with the character profiles, because they literally don't have time or energy to do actual character development. It was handy for someone like me who hadn't seen the first two and actually got caught up pretty quickly.
I know, but the logistics of that scene are very similar to the Suicide Squad one.
Yeah, as if the thought...
And they only do it for those two characters.
As if
three.
Yeah, exactly. As if the thought, that's a good idea, we'll do that. That's what it
came
came
for quite a few.
Yeah, that's what it came across to me. It wasn't a pot shot. It was them literally going, well, it worked in Suicide Squad, do it again. That's all it seemed to be for me. I don't know.
But yeah, straight from the first scene where Samuel L. Jackson's trying to hire Neymar into the squad.
Neymar is the very best bit of the film.
He thinks he's joining the Avengers. I think that just tells you everything you need to know about this film.
But you said definitely filmed somewhere else.
You can
see his is probably filmed in a beach in Brazil.
100%. They're always over the shoulder shots or separate shots. It's so clearly not in the same place.
But Neymar's I can't even say what the bit is, because I think to spoil that one bit of joy I had in the film would be a shame. Just something that Neymar does that's very funny. It's the best part of the film.
I think it's just in terms of all that, it's the fact that the action isn't even turned up to 11. It's turned up to about 11,000, because there is the volume. There is no logic or reason to most of the stuff that happens. There's one scene where Donnie Yen and Vin Diesel having a fight later on in the film, and they literally jump off a bridge, roll off a lorry, end up flying about 20 feet, and end up pretty much getting run over by two cars, and yet they just get up like there wasn't even a scratch.
I don't need pain.
I
got family.
Yeah, it's just completely. I'm convinced that Donnie Yen cannot say a single line of dialogue without smiling as well after this in Rogue One.
Well, no one can
every single line he drops is just a cheesy grin.
Every single line in the film is a cheesy line.
Yeah,
so
I know.
It deserves that cheesy grin. This is where we differ. I think you like it because it's stupid fun, and there's nothing wrong with that, and I can see that. Personally, I quite like my brain as it is. I don't want to turn it off. This kind of stuff does not appeal to me very much. I've got no problem with these films necessarily. I'm not going to have a rant about it. I've got things I don't like about it. I think it tries to justify the sort of leering sexism and chauvinism that happens a lot in this film. Is very shallow by giving women lead roles. You said it's not
I don't think it's anything like that.
But you say that it's not because it has female characters as leads. I think it has them there just so it can get away with doing more.
But I think there's equal leering from Vin Diesel at the men and at the women as Ruby Rose is to the women.
That should not normalise it.
I'm not saying it should. I'm just saying it's not like directly misogynistic in that way. I think it's just
it is.
your typical action film, really, and I had a blast.
No, typical. You can't normalize these things. It's just annoying. Right, Ruby Rose is good-ish. She was fine, but all of the dialogue in the film is just like clicky phrases and like sound bites that were like clearly made for the trailer, and they thought, oh, well, actually, this is the whole film. We'll just have to we'll release it as it. We didn't do any proper dialogue. We just made like Skyfall. Like Skyfall, every single line is a catchphrase. But I like Skyfall. There's a difference. But one thing I did like about it, aside from the headache-inducing action, I mean, my head was throbbing after about 5 minutes. It was loud enough so that I could eat a can of Pringles. I wouldn't normally eat film. I wouldn't normally eat food in films. But I figured it would be loud enough to be able to eat Pringles, and they're quite, they've got quite a sound. They're quite an iconic.
Yeah.
And I got away with it.
Done.
There you go.
I was undetected. And I sorted my own. I would have walked out. Like, not because it was bad, just because I had other stuff I could have done, but I've got morals. Sorry.
I think just for a film which introduces one of the heroes, Ruby Rose, by introducing her shooting hunters in the leg so they can get eaten by lions.
Yeah,
and she's a hero.
Yeah.
That just sort of tells you everything you need to know, I think.
That's not heroic at all.
Yeah, like
that's quite vicious.
Yeah, like she literally like cripples like 3 hunters so they can get eaten by a lion because they're hunting a lion.
I wouldn't support that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't support that at all. That's awful.
Yeah, but it's just it's I don't know. There's no rhyme or reason to anything that happens. People just turn up and go at any point. They literally rip Samuel L. Jackson's plot from The Winter Soldier, and everything about it is just ridiculous. Turn up to it's literally about skateboarding secret agents.
You've
got
us there, and you've won us over.
Yeah.
Anyway, XXX, recommend.
I would. I think.
When there's films like La La Land, Manchester by the Sea, Split,
but there's no
Jackie.
action film like this right now. Out in cinemas.
Fine. But the cinema I was in, a lot of people were enjoying it. So
if you want your Saturday night 11 o'clock screening, this is it.
I'm just a grumpy old man who's only 20 years old.
21.